your girl Miss Tia Tanae, and I am back with another video, and you already know what it is. It is a Holmes invasion. So this video will be all about my first trimester and my first trimester symptoms, and kind of a pregnancy update to catch you guys up of where I am now. So I will be looking down on a piece of paper because I did take some notes on all the things that happened in my first trimester. So please excuse that. So if you have not watched my pregnancy announcement video, please go back and watch that first. As I did talk a lot about us, of how we found out and things like that. So please go back and check out that video. And if you have yet to subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you won't miss another video. So let's get into it. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so we found out at 3 weeks and 3 days, which is like 8 or 9 DPO. Again, if you want to hear all about us finding out, how we found out, things like that, please go back and check out that video. One of the first symptoms I had was frequent urination. I had to pee all the time, and that has not stopped. Yeah. So soon after finding out, I called my OBGYN office right away to make a doctor's appointment. They don't really do much until you're 8 weeks. And like I said, I was 3 weeks and 3 days when I found out, and I immediately called them to set an appointment. So I had about 5 weeks or so to until they do their first official appointment or whatnot. But they did scheduled me to come in because they wanted to just check my HCG levels and confirm pregnancy through blood before actually going to the official doctor's appointment. And when I went to that appointment, my HCG levels were at 455. Yeah, which is good and super high for being at 4 weeks. So yeah, one of the first symptoms I had was frequent urination. Then I had mild cramps. At first it was kind of alarming, like, why am I still cramping? Like, you know, but it wasn't like period cramps, but it was like you feel something kind of thing. I did inquire about it with my OB during my wait, and it was just like, you know, that's normal, you're fine and whatnot. Soon after that, I had lots of gas, and not necessarily like passing gas, but like you felt the gas bubbles and gas moving around, where I think the gas actually kind of started the cramps for me or whatnot. Yeah, it was totally uncomfortable. Soon after that, I had sore breasts, and that started around 5 weeks for me. And it was just hurt to lay on them. Oh, and then super early on, I stopped wearing bras. Like, it was so uncomfortable to wear a bra. It was ridiculous. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So what I did was, I have a lot of camis, so I would wear a cami or sports bras. Kind of worked out. Although the elastic bands for the sports bras was pretty much uncomfortable. And then speaking of clothes, I just hated anything to touch like my lower abdomen. Like, it was just like a no-go for me. Like, I don't want nothing to touch it. Like, don't touch it. No. So leggings came into play super early as well. Yeah, so immediately I just wanted to be comfortable. Like, I needed comfortable clothes. Jeans was like out the picture like right away. Like I couldn't do the gene thing anymore. And then what else came around? Oh, and then at my 4-week appointment, I did bring my bottle of prenatal vitamins. Now, I was taking prenatal vitamins prior to becoming pregnant because, like I said, this pregnancy was planned, and my thing was just being healthy overall anyways. So I brought the one that I was taking to my doctor's appointment at 4 weeks when I got my HCG levels checked, and I just was inquiring about, like, are these okay? Does these work fine? Things like that. And she was like, yeah, that's fine, but you should be taking iron. Now, I was taking, or I still am currently taking prenatal gummies, just because I knew that I would keep up taking gummies rather than taking pills any day. So it's very rare to find a gummy that includes iron, but I did find some on Amazon. I really should have had the bottle next to me, but if I got the brand, I'll link it and post it somewhere in this video. Excuse me. They did not work for me, but they may work for you. I know a lot of mommies out there who are looking for gummies that have iron in it, but it didn't work for me. I found out very early on that I was very sensitive to iron, and it made me super nauseous and super sick. It made me so sick that at first I thought I was experiencing morning sickness. And of course, we all know that morning sickness is just the name. You can have sickness anytime throughout the day. And I was super nauseous. I didn't have any appetite. And I was just chalking it up to morning sickness. But then constipation was through in there as well. And my mom had mentioned, like, you know, are you taking iron? Like, I was sensitive to iron. Like, maybe you should cut out the iron. So I did. Once my mom had mentioned it to me, I was like, you know what? Prior to switching my prenatal vitamin gummies to the ones with the iron in it, I was not having this issue. I wasn't having the nausea and things like that. So let me switch back. And I switched back to my regular gummies, and the nauseous kind of went away. The constipation kind of stayed, and I noticed that that kind of contributed to me being nauseous and can't eat as well. But once I was able to pass the bowel, I'm sorry, this is going to be TMI. This is all about pregnancy, so please be aware. But anywho, once I was able to pass the bowel and things like that, then I was back to my normal self. Like, I felt fine. So that had happened. The cramping kind of still continued, but it was more so my uterus expanding and growing for the growing little baby. So I was all for it. It wasn't like constant or anything. It was just like here and there, like, oh, okay, that's something. Oh, it's growing kind of thing. Then I started experiencing extreme hunger. So I went from like not having no appetite, constipation kind of things to extreme hunger. But what was so crazy is that it was like clockwork. It was at 1 a.m. every single night. 1 a.m. I woke up like clockwork, hungry and wanting food. And I had to eat. So that was kind of tough, especially when you got to get up for work in the morning. But it is what it is. It kind of passed. It kind of came and went. Yeah. So it came and it went. Then after that, while all that stuff was going on, soon my 8-week appointment was available. Well, not available. It was time for my 8-week appointment. Which it seemed like it took forever. I don't know. I just wanted to see my baby. That's all I cared about. And I wish I could have recorded, because I would have recorded some footage for you guys, but the lady did not let us record. But we did get some pictures of our little baby. The heartbeat was really high at our first appointment. In 8 weeks, it was 191. The baby was healthy. Everything was normal. The baby was measuring a day ahead, which is fine. Yeah. And then we got the official due date, which is March 20th. Yeah, and I'm going to show you guys some pictures of our 8-week little baby. So that's our little baby at 8 weeks. Actually, some appointments at 8 weeks and 3 days. But crap. Kinda, even though not really much information to give, but my name and my birthday. But yeah, that was the little baby at 8 weeks and 3 days. Yeah, so heartbeat was at 191. My start weight was 144.8. And that was my starting weight. I actually gained weight within the 4 weeks to 8 weeks of me being pregnant. I think I actually started off at 137, but by the time my 8-week appointment, I was at 144.8. Yeah. And the same kind of symptoms kind of traveled or trickled on to the end of my first trimester. I did start having trouble brushing my teeth, like gagging or yeah, like gagging, like it was uncomfortable to get the back and things like that. Some nauseous or nausea still, and I was extremely tired too. Like I just wanted to sleep and I just wanted to lay down. So fatigue kind of set in as well. Yeah, and that's pretty much everything that happened in my first trimester. Oh, and then I had took my neck pillows, because we had bought like quite a few neck pillows once we was traveling for our honeymoon. I had then start trying to I then started taking those to work to kind of stuff behind me and for me to sit on at work, because it became extremely uncomfortable to sit. And I sit at a computer. So yeah, extreme discomfort and back pains. Back pains were a killer. Like it interrupted my sleep every single night, and it felt like I had to have a ton of pillows around me and things like that. And I had to invest in a pregnancy pillow right away, kind of super early. Before even a bump started to take over, I had a pregnancy pillow just because of the back pain. Yeah. So that pretty much sums up my first trimester. So yes, that means I'm out of my first trimester. And I'm actually going to incorporate what happened at my next 2 appointments, and which led me into my second trimester. I'm currently in my second trimester, and I got a ways to go. Probably like almost 2 more months in my second trimester. And so soon after this video, I will be doing my weekly bump dates or my weekly pregnancy updates. And that will start at 20 weeks. I am currently at 21 weeks, but my updates will start at 20 weeks because I'm just now, well, I'll talk about that in the next video. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to talk about now heading into my second trimester up into now where I am at 21 weeks. So, at my 12-week appointment, so if you don't know, when you're newly pregnant in your first and second trimester, you go to your doctor's appointments every 4 weeks. So that was my 8-week appointment that I just recently talked to you guys about. So at my next appointment at 12 weeks, those appointments is kind of a little disappointing. I guess just for me, for this being my first time, I didn't expect these kind of appointments to go so quickly, because you're talking about your baby, so you want to talk about it as long as you can and hear about all you can about your baby. But it's actually pretty quick appointments. Like, you come in, you leave your urine. So let's just get into what the appointments in. So you come in, you check in, you give your urine, you wait for your OB to come in, you do your heart Doppler, where they check the baby's heartbeat, make sure the heartbeat is good and healthy, and then you do a kind of a back and forth with your OB and tell them any updates on what's been going on, any questions or concerns, and they kind of relay information back to you as well. And they give you that information, or if you have any blood tests or anything, then you follow up with that right after, and that's it. So I say that these appointments is probably like 30 minutes at the most, not very long at all. So I understand when mommies are really looking forward to those appointments that include ultrasounds, because it's kind of more lengthy and you get more personal time with your baby and seeing your baby and talking about your baby. So those appointments were like not that exciting, but exciting for you, you know what I mean? So at the 12-week appointment, we went through the necessary routine, but once she did the heart Doppler, she couldn't necessarily find the baby right away or at all with the heart Doppler. It didn't alarm me at all, just because I didn't feel that. So it didn't alarm me at all. So she had to get a handheld ultrasound machine, and she found the baby right away when she got the handheld ultrasound machine, and the baby was just upside down and kicking. So playing gymnastics in my tummy, and that's why she couldn't find the heartbeat right away. But heartbeat was fine, baby was healthy, and we were sent on our way. So 8-week appointment, weight was 144.8. Then when it came to my 12-week appointment, my weight went from 144.8 to 148.6. So within that month, I gained about 4 pounds, which is pretty good. They want you to gain about 4 to 5. So I was right on target. And then on my 16-week appointment, same routine. Is that? No, it's not. So on my 16-week appointment, we went through the same routine. Nothing too much going on at that appointment. But my weight did go from 148.6 to 152.6, I believe. So 38, 49, 50, 51, 52. So I'm staying on like the 4-point gaining 4 pounds every appointment, kind of thing. From 8 weeks to 16 weeks, I gained 8 pounds, I think. Yeah. yeah, 8 pounds. And then at 17 weeks, now I didn't have an appointment at 17 weeks, but something significant happened at 17 weeks. I noticed that my boobs was leaking, and that at first I'm like, what the heck? Because it wasn't like I caught it just straight coming out. What happened is that I woke up the next morning and it was like dried from my boob, and it was kind of on my stomach and on my arm a little bit, and it was all dried up. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I'm like, is it slob? Like, what is this? So but once I noticed it was dry and leaking from my boob, I was like, oh my God. The first thing I did, which is probably crazy for you guys, but not for me and my mom's relationship, I FaceTimed my mom and showed my mom, like, Mom, what is this? And she was just like, oh, it's milk. You know, I didn't expect for it to, you know, be leaking so early. At 17 weeks, being that I had so long to go. But it definitely did. So yeah, that was my 17-week surprise. 18 weeks, really can't fit nothing. Definitely had to buy a lot of dresses. That's why I'm in my dress now. 19-week, kind of the same thing. As you can see, it's like, oh, and then too, that happened as well, leading up into where I'm at now. So I had asthma. I was born with asthma, but once being pregnant, my asthma did return. It never went away, but I believe it like suppresses itself when you become an adult. But I did have to get my inhaler back, because as you can see, I lose my breath a lot, especially when I'm up moving around trying to clean up around the house or do things, or like walking up the stairs, or, you know, just doing laundry or anything. I lose my breath really quickly where I have to take a seat. And so they did prescribe me back with my asthma pump, which I can't say like I haven't had to take so often, which I'm kind of like precautious in taking it, just because I believe it has steroids in it, and I don't want to subject my baby to that, but to each his own. They also prescribed me Miralax for constipation. I think I only took that probably like once or twice, just because I want to be cautious when taking stuff. Although it was prescribed by my OB, so I'm sure it's perfectly safe. But this is just how I'm choosing to take my journey. Although I've never been a medicine type of person where I take a bunch of prescribed things. And the same as with my family, we've been like natural, like we find natural ways of healing and stuff like that. So we know a lot of natural remedies and things like that. So yeah, and plus the constipation has let up since I say about 16 weeks. So yeah, so that's all about my first trimester symptoms, and a bit of a pregnancy update leading into my second trimester. Like I said earlier, after this video, we are now going into our weekly updates. Now, leading up into this leading into the birth of baby. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and make sure you stay tuned for my 20-week bump date. And I love you guys. Peace.